Hi, and welcome back again. Thank you so much for being a valuable person in this podcast. And today we want to dive into questions that were asked during our last video. And we truly value your feedback. So we will just dive into it and let's learn and unlearn and relearn. What was the question that was asked during our last?
Good. Can you sit with uncomfortable emotions without running away from them?
That is a very heartfelt question.
Mhm.
And what I can say concerning our emotions is that emotions are quite extremely complex, and different people deal with emotions differently. And so, the person who has asked this question is the first thing that you need to understand is who you are as a person. What does this look like? Is to understand your character, is to understand your personality,
Mm.
is to also understand your attachment conditioning. So we first begin by asking you first begin by asking yourself, what type of a person are you? Are you are you like an easy person to understand things? Are you do you take time with things? Does it take you a long time to deal with things? And that is where we actually begin with. In psychology we would term it as temperament, and then this one would lead us to our personality. Once you get to understand, I am an avoidant type of person, I am an anxious type of person, I
Mhm.
am secure. This one would enable you to know why you are running away from these particular emotions that you are feeling. And because you've asked us, why do I run away? We can safely say that you are an avoidant type of person. And so once you get to internalize this and know exactly where you are, this is a step to the right direction.
I love that you have started with that self awareness, knowing where you are,
Mhm.
knowing why you are the way, knowing why you are the way you are,
Mm.
right? Um, I would add the fact that understanding that this is a human issue more than just a very personal issue. It's uh, I think this is me telling whoever asked that question, you're not alone.
Mm.
You're really not alone. Very many people are struggling with the concept of emotions, just sitting with them because, number one, we weren't exactly taught the how, emotional granularity or naming our emotions or sitting with them or
Mm.
processing or regulating. It just, in general, wasn't part of the curriculum, and it hasn't been part of people's homes or parenting for a while now.
Mm.
Right now parents are becoming more self-aware, becoming more intentional, etc., and that's a good thing, but growing up it wasn't exactly taught. Secondly, emotions are scary to many people because um, that sense of overwhelm, that sense of intensity
Mm.
makes your brain, your nervous system, all everything within you feel like it's being threatened and it needs to protect you because your brain's primary function is to keep you alive,
Yeah.
to keep you safe and alive, right? So that sense of deep anger or deep pain or whatever it is feels like a threat that needs to be fought, that needs to be avoided, that you need to be saved from. Yeah. Then with that knowledge, you can now begin to, first of all, not shame yourself for struggling with your emotions. Just realize that it's normal. The fact that
Mm.
I've been struggling is normal, and I'm very encouraged to see this question because it means this is someone who'd love to improve, someone who'd love to grow. So then now we can begin to think about how, or how do I grow? How do I now build capacity to
Mm.
sit with my emotions?
It's like when you were talking about your brain, it actually reminded me of this famous therapist. I tend to actually forget, but he says that for the conscious to be, we have to make the unconscious conscious.
Mm,
So when you're saying that we
mm,
need to actually learn about what is happening, our brain tends to make us forget. So when you find yourself in that process of trying to run away, that is a signal that you are running away from trauma. You are running away from what is truly the problem. So we need to like sit with it and figure out what is it that is causing me to actually behave like this.
Yeah. Love the concept of bringing the unconscious, to consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
That's really good. I love that quote. Um, to add on to that, I'm thinking it's important to highlight that in sitting with your emotions does not necessarily mean indulging them endlessly, like stay sitting with them forever. I think because people who are I don't know if I want to use the word avoidant, but the people who it just doesn't make sense to them to
Mm-hmm.
sit with their emotions the whole day,
Yeah.
to be in their feelings the entire day.
Mm.
And sitting with your emotions does not mean that. It doesn't mean indulging your feelings the entire day endlessly. It just simply means allowing them to stay as long as they need to stay, you know? And um, what research has shown that the more you suppress your emotions, the more they chase after you.
Yeah.
They intensify. The more you suppress, the more they intensify. It's very easy to ignore emotions when you think it's all in my head. It's psychological, it's all in my head. But when your heart is racing within your chest, when you're feeling gut wrenching pain, gut wrenching, emotion that is gut wrenching, when your shoulders are filled with tension the entire week, it begins to get to a point where you can't ignore it anymore. Yeah, because emotions are not just psychological; they're not just in our minds; they're also felt in our body. So acknowledging that emotions are important, they're fundamental. We were wired to have emotions. In fact, there are very many parts of our brains that are set aside to process emotions, to process fear, to process self-awareness, etc. So just that kutilia manani that this is actually important. This is not something on the side. You're too emotional. We really downplay the concept of emotions. In fact, for generations now, for a really long time, the concept of emotions has been downplayed. That let's think logically. People
True.
bring logic into the conversation, and it makes emotions sound so trivial. Just acknowledging, giving them, esteeming them, giving them their place, giving them their value is, I don't know, a step in the right direction.
Well, what I hear you say is radical acceptance. We truly need to accept where we are in every situation. So if today I feel pain, if I feel anger, I need to sit down with it and first get to understand, is it coming from my chest? Is it coming from my heart? Like where exactly it is, and this one would lead us to try and bring out other things, like let us practice what can I feel right now? What can I see right now? Something that would bring us out of it without necessarily making that pain go away.
I have like so many things are running in my head after you mentioned radical acceptance. I love the phrase radical acceptance because, yeah, radical acceptance, just basically going with the flow, accepting, allowing yourself, giving yourself permission to feel what it is you're feeling. But something else that has also come to mind is, let me put it in, it's escaped, but I know I'll remember. About radical acceptance, someone explained the concept of feeling your emotions as given it's a this is a space where we really speak about reproductive health. I know the audience, whoever is listening, will really understand when we talk about that very uncomfortable procedure you'll have with your gyna when they need to inspect something, or when you're having a pap smear. So it's very uncomfortable. So you can either clench and feel the pain the entire time, or you can release yourself and just allow yourself, um, tell yourself beforehand, this is going to happen, and I'm gonna sit with it, and I'm gonna survive. I'm gonna be okay. It's gonna be a few uncomfortable minutes, then from there I'm going to be okay. I think it's also the same with emotions. That acceptance. It's the anger. I'm gonna feel the anger. I'm gonna feel the tension. I'm gonna feel the fear. But it's only for a moment. It won't last forever. And just allowing yourself to ride the wave, because emotions are waves. They rise, peak, and then they fall. So learning to ride the wave as opposed to trying to run. I mean, at the beach, have you ever tried to run away from a wave? Like,
No.
don't like running away from a wave is,
Yeah.
unless you're very fast, unless you're like Hussein Bolt fast, running from a wave is not wise.
Let's see.
Flowing, letting it move you, moving with it, letting it rise and peak is your best bet of survival.
Mm-hmm. Well, when you are talking about acceptance, the way you have said, let everything just happen. Let the wave take you. It is a concept. It's a concept rather of total surrender. You have to just surrender to everything that is happening within you, and this in turn would actually let you sit with your emotions without it having to be a major thing that is going on. Like, this is not your whole identity. This is something that is happening now. I feel sad now, but this does not make me a sad person.
Yeah.
This does not make me an angry person. This is just my emotions concerning trying to conceive, concerning it. It cuts across all borders, and this would in turn make you carry this thing with a lot of awareness.
Oh, I love that. Can we now move on to talking about the importance of emotions? That emotions carry a message. Every time you're feeling um, resentment, every time you're feeling resentment, it means that a boundary has been crossed. Anytime you're feeling sad, it means you've lost something. Emotions carry a message. And if you're too busy running from them, then you won't get what that message means, or rather what that message is, and you won't be able to adjust yourself um, accurately and correctly to serve your need at the time. But if you stop seeing them as a threat and allow them in total surrender, radical acceptance, then you can hear what the message is.
Well, I love what you've said, because when you've said that when people try to run away from emotions, most of the time, let's use anger. Anger anger simply is a secondary emotion to the real emotion. You are angry because you have not communicated well. You are angry because you feel a loss. Something must have been taken away from you. You're angry, so you need to allow that emotion to settle in, and then find out why is it that I am feeling angry today. And you can, in psychology, we have the three steps where they say there's a reason, because most of the time we try to address most people try to address the effect that I am angry. But what is the behavior that made you angry? What is the cause of all this? So once you're able to just sit down and know that this emotion tells me something, this is most of the time our mind, our brain reminds us something that we're trying to run away from it, and this brings us to accept everything that is going on around us and within us.
Peeling off the layers. You mentioned anger being a secondary emotion, or that it's compounded. There are many layers under it. There is what it's masking, right? So sitting with it long enough, or allowing it to pass and be able to analyze, peel off the layer. Okay, fine. Where is the injustice? Why am I feeling? What's the injustice? What do I feel has been taken away from me, etc. It's really it's powerful. I love that we're having this conversation. It's definitely necessary.
And just the last thing that we can leave with anyone that is watching, just anyone who is in that space where you're unable to deal with your emotions. Your emotions affect your whole entire day. Your emotions affect people around you. You can try and get to know, is it just happening in my mind? Is it happening in my body? And when it is happening in your body, try to ground yourself now. Try and practice these things that would help you be aware of your environment. For example, if it gets to that point where you cannot breathe well, you're feeling the pain in your stomach,
Right.
just ask yourself 3 questions. What do I see right now? Even if what I'm seeing right now is you, let me concentrate on you. If you are in your office, what are you seeing right now? Is it your desk? Concentrate on that desk. How does your feet feel in this particular moment? And when you are able to feel the whatever it is, the ground, the carpet in itself, even that, just for a second, gets you out of your mind, gets you out of your pain. And this in turn enables you to internalize, and the way we say it, radical acceptance, total surrender.
This grounding exercises make you survive the wave, right? Without feeling like you're drowning, without feeling, or the moment you begin to feel like you're drowning or begin to feel flooded or overwhelmed, then you practice what you have mentioned.
Yeah.
And you practice your breathing and all that, so that you stay in the here and now. You're able to distinguish what you're feeling from where you are. It brings you back to the here and now. Right. And you survive that moment, and you're actually able to continue what you're doing. And when the next wave hits, when the next intense emotion hits, you have all these tools now. You have these skills. Cynthia?
True.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for this question. It has been a healing point, and we really, really are grateful when you interact with us in the comment section, and looking forward to the next one. Thank you and bye.